I literally would not purchase a hearing aid in 2026 unless it was one of these. Hey guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona, and in this video, I'm sharing my top picks for best receiver-in-canal hearing aids of 2026. As you know, every single year, I like to take a look at all of the hearing aids currently available on the market and tell you which ones I think are the absolute best. Of course, receiver-in-canal hearing aids are the most popular style, so I usually like to start here. But I put together an entire series of best hearing aids of 2026 videos that include other hearing aid styles and different features. So if you want to check out that series, I will have it linked in the description. One thing that I want to make abundantly clear about my best hearing aid videos is that none of the companies that manufacture these hearing aids can pay their way onto this list. This video is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. So if I'm talking about a hearing aid in this video, it's because I believe that it is one of the best based on my personal experience reviewing these hearing aids, as well as using these hearing aids to treat my patients inside of my Phoenix, Arizona clinic. If you like that, do me a huge favor and click the like button. And while you're at it, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well so you get a notification every single time I publish one of my best hearing aid videos. And let me know down in the comment section which one of these hearing aids you actually think is best. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And in no particular order, the first hearing aid on this year's list of best receiver-in-canal hearing aids of 2026 is the Phonak Audeo Ultra Sphere-Infinio. The Phonak Sphere-Infinio took the world by storm in August of 2024 with some of the most impressive deep neural network artificial intelligence noise reduction that we had ever experienced from any hearing aid manufacturer. However, at the very end of 2025, Phonak released a firmware update which upgraded all Sphere hearing aids to the new Ultra line of Sphere hearing aids, whether you purchased the Sphere when it first came out or whether you purchased it new here in 2026. But just to be clear, even if Phonak did not release an Ultra update to improve their already impressive hearing aids, the Phonak Sphere would have still made this year's list. But the new Phonak Audeo Ultra Sphere-Infinio is on a completely different level. Not only did Phonak upgrade AutoSense OS from version 6.0 to 7.0, but they also upgraded their spheric speech clarity to version 2.0, and they improved their battery efficiency by 30%, which was previously the Achilles heel of the Sphere hearing aid. AutoSense OS 7.0 is now 24% more precise at identifying your different listening environments. So when you go into different listening situations, the hearing aids can automatically put you into the proper program settings for that environment much better than before. And the Ultra version has been trained to recognize a broader range of different music styles, including classical, jazz, hip-hop, and even electronic music. Spheric Speech Clarity version 2.0, made possible by the Deep Sonic chip, can now be used more frequently because of the increased battery life thanks to the Ultra firmware update. Now you can easily get over a full day of battery life using the Ultra Sphere hearing aid, with up to around 10 hours of battery life if you're going to be using the Spheric Speech and Loud Noise Artificial Intelligence program based on my testing. And just in case you were interested, independent hearing aid testing lab HearAdvisor even ranked the Sphere as the best performing hearing aid in background noise that they've ever tested by a pretty wide margin. If you want to know what that sounds like for yourself, go ahead and take a listen.
Song, and I was like so behind the beat because when I would press it down, all of a sudden the pitch shift stuff was behind by like 10 milliseconds. I mean, it's enough to make the feel off.
Now keep in mind, the sound sample that you just heard was with custom ear molds with no venting for maximum benefit. But even with vented domes, you can still get a significant improvement in your hearing and background noise. In fact, Phonak now has their new EasyGuard dome that is compatible with the Ultra Sphere that prevents needing to always change your wax traps because there's no way for wax to get through the dome. The Phonak Ultra Sphere-Infinio also now has one-step pairing, so you can just pair your hearing aids up with the My Phonak app without having to separately pair the hearing aids up with your smartphone for Bluetooth streaming. And when you consider the fact that Phonak still has some of the most universally connectable hearing aids with a variety of different wireless devices with multiple connections that you can run at the exact same time and a ton of different wireless accessories that are absolutely excellent, it is not hard to see why the Phonak Ultra Sphere-Infinio hearing aid made this list of best receiver-in-canal hearing aids in 2026. Now, if you remember nothing else from this video, and I mean nothing else, the one thing that you need to remember is that it does not matter how awesome any one of these hearing aids are unless you've had them fit and programmed by a hearing care professional who follows comprehensive audiologic best practices. You can literally take the best hearing aid in the world, and make it perform like crap if you don't fit it and program it properly. That's why I highly recommend that you check out my website, HearingUp.com, and find a HearingUp network member in your area. All HearingUp members have been vetted and are committed to following comprehensive audiologic best practices to ensure that you can hear your absolute best with whatever hearing aids you use. So if you want to maximize the performance of any hearing aid on this year's list of best hearing aids in 2026, then finding a HearingUp network member in your area is your best bet. The second hearing aid on this year's list of best receiver-in-canal hearing aids of 2026 is the Starkey Omega Ai. The Omega Ai is an unbelievable hearing aid from Starkey that builds on Starkey's extremely popular Edge AI line of devices. Not only do these hearing aids utilize a deep neural network using the new Gen 3 neural processor for AI sound processing and background noise, but the new DNN 360 feature now uses artificial intelligence to control the directional microphones of your hearing aids. This allows the Omega Ai to significantly outperform other hearing aids that use traditional microphone beamforming technology. As you'll notice, unlike most hearing aids on this year's list, the Omega Ai comes in both rechargeable and disposable battery receiver-in-canal options. And there's a telecoil option as well as a cross option for individuals with single-sided deafness. The rechargeable battery life of these hearing aids is completely insane. You can pretty much wear a Starkey Omega Ai hearing aid for 2 days straight without charging it. The rechargeable MRIC and RIC-RT hearing aids also have a new indicator light that you can use to see if you're turning the hearing aid on, turning the hearing aid off, and having successful Bluetooth pairing, but you can also use them to help locate your hearing aids with the Find My Hearing Aid feature. These hearing aids literally start flashing when you activate the Find My Hearing Aid feature inside of the My Starkey app. Starkey also added some nice new features inside of their My Starkey app, including the Gen AI Assistant and Telehear AI. They also expanded upon their balance assessment feature from previous generations, and they now have a balance builder program where it actually gives you exercises to improve your balance. But the Edge Mode Plus feature clearly has to be the best feature of these hearing aids. It uses artificial intelligence to give you either the best overall sound, enhance speech, or reduce as much background noise as possible. Just go ahead and take a listen for yourself.
Range anxiety is rechargeable. Our goal at Starkey was to remove the fear from hearing aid users that they'll miss out on one of life's most important moments due to running out of battery life in their hearing aids.
Based on my testing, the Omega Ai hearing aids still work the best with Apple products, but it also has the ability to use LE Audio Bluetooth and Auracast. LE Audio Bluetooth is a new form of Bluetooth that gives you better streaming sound quality and lower battery drain. And Auracast, which is made possible by this new form of LE Audio Bluetooth, is a form of broadcast audio inside of public venues that you can tap into directly into your hearing aids. However, you can also use Auracast with the new Starkey Edge TV streamer. This TV streamer is probably my favorite streamer on the market because not only does it use Auracast to stream to your Starkey hearing aids, but any other hearing aids or earbuds with Auracast capabilities can also stream from the Edge TV streamer as well. When you consider all of the crazy features that you can find inside of the Starkey Omega Ai hearing aids, you would be hard-pressed to find a better hearing aid here in 2026. All right, before I move on to hearing aid number 3 on this list, I've got to tell you about something. If you're wearing hearing aids and you have never done auditory training, then you're leaving a significant amount of hearing benefit on the table. Auditory training is like physical therapy for your ears. You wouldn't go and get a knee replacement surgery and not do physical therapy afterwards, just like you shouldn't be getting a new pair of hearing aids and not doing auditory training afterwards. And the best and easiest way to do auditory training is with the Lace AI Pro auditory training app. Lace AI Pro is backed by over 20 years of clinical research and has been proven to improve your hearing ability above and beyond what you can get from just hearing aids alone. The app is loaded with a ton of different types of training, including speech and noise training, rapid speech, working memory, and deductive reasoning, all which help you hear better. A lifetime license of this app is typically $499, but Dr. Cliff Channel subscribers can get a significant discount. If you want to check out Lace AI Pro for yourself, I will have a link and a discount code down in the description for you. All right, now on to the third hearing aid to make this year's list of best receiver-in-canal hearing aids of 2026 is the Oticon Intent. I think that this is the third year in a row that the Oticon Intent made my best hearing aids list, and that's a testament to how good this hearing aid is. Oticon was the first manufacturer to release a hearing aid that was trained with a deep neural network for AI sound processing back in 2021. And the Intent hearing aid is already using Oticon's second generation before other manufacturers manufacturers or even using their first. The Intent is great at keeping you aware of different sounds that are around you while still being able to hear and understand the person you want to hear in a noisy situation. This is largely due to a combination of their Deep Neural Network version 2.0 and their 4D sensor. I recently traveled to Copenhagen, Denmark to Oticon headquarters to see how they've been advancing their hearing aid technology through research and development. And it's no wonder why the Oticon Intent is one of the best hearing aids on the planet. On this trip, I was also able to get a sneak peek of the new Oticon Zeal hearing aid, which will be available in early 2026, and I'll definitely be featuring this hearing aid on my Best Invisible Hearing Aids of 2026 video. Alright, back to the Intent. Now, Oticon has been making firmware updates for the Intent hearing aids over the course of the past couple years now, and the firmware update that they just released at the very end of 2025 enabled Auracast as well as Google Fast Pair. Oticon's Auracast broadcast audio is the cleanest Auracast that I've ever experienced so far. In my opinion, it sounded way better than any hearing loop system with the telecoil, including the loop system inside of my office. Of course, this is exciting if you're someone who needs extra assistance inside of a public venue. You just might have to be a little bit patient, but don't worry, the Oticon Intent hearing aids also have a telecoil in them if you want to use it. Google's Fast Pair allows for extremely fast and easy pairing of the Intent hearing aids up to your Android phone, and streaming audio using LE Audio Bluetooth is amazing as well. From a hearing perspective, the Oticon Intent hearing aid is one of the absolute best hearing aids that I've ever programmed to match prescriptive targets for individuals with a high-frequency sensorineural hearing loss. And considering the fact that the high-frequency ranges are where the clarity components of human speech are located, the Oticon Intent hearing aids get you back a ton of clarity. I should also mention that the Oticon Intent hearing aid is a super small hearing aid with a super long battery life, and the Oticon Companion app is one of the most user-friendly apps in the hearing aid world. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Oticon Intent hearing aid made next year's list of best hearing aids in 2027. Now, if you happen to live in the greater Phoenix area, or heck, if you live in the state of Arizona and you would like me or one of my associates to treat your hearing loss, feel free to contact my clinic Applied Hearing Solutions and schedule an Applied 360 Discover consultation today. During this 2-hour consultation, we will help you identify which of these hearing aids are best for you based on your hearing loss and your wants and needs. More importantly, we'll set you up with a treatment plan that maximizes your performance with these devices. So if you live in Arizona and you want to make sure that you can hear your absolute best, feel free to give us a call or send us a message. That being said, the fourth hearing aid on this year's list of best Receiver-in-Canal hearing aids in 2026 is the Signia Pure C&G IX. Between the Pure C&G IX and the Pure C&G BCT IX, Signia's got you covered depending on what type of connectivity you're looking for. The IX uses Bluetooth Low Energy as well as the Asha Bluetooth protocol, and it is future ready for LE Audio Bluetooth and Auracast. However, the BCT IX, which stands for Bluetooth Connectivity Transformed, uses Bluetooth Classic but does not have any future compatibility with LE Audio Bluetooth or Auracast. Other than that, the IX version also has a cross transmitter for individuals with single-sided deafness, but other than that, these hearing aids are the same. The headline feature of these hearing aids is called Real-Time Conversation Enhancement, which allows the hearing aids to track the main talkers in a noisy environment even if they're moving. According to Signia, this allows their Charge and Go IX hearing aids to provide an additional 22 to 24% better speech understanding and noise compared to competitor hearing aids that use artificial intelligence. And while I cannot say that these percentages are accurate, I can tell you that these hearing aids are fantastic, especially if you program them using real ear measurement. The IX is very slim for being a rechargeable hearing aid, and the battery life is really good because they use galvanic charging, which gets you up to 34 hours of battery life with 5 hours of streaming. The Own Voice Processing version 2.0 feature is a really nice feature for a lot of new hearing aid users who do not like the sound of their own voice when it's amplified through the hearing aids. You can actually train these hearing aids to recognize your own voice and reduce the amount of amplification given to your voice when you're talking. And this does not have a negative impact on other people's voices who are talking to you. The Signia app has a really cool feature where you can actually point the microphones in different directions from the hearing aid, so if you want to point them in front of you or next to you or even behind you to eavesdrop on a table at a restaurant, you can do that. If you get the right provider who follows best practices, you can make the Signia Pure Charge & Go IX and BCT IX hearing aids perform extremely well, which is exactly why I included them on this year's list of best receiver-in-canal hearing aids of 2026. Now, just a minute ago, you may have heard me mention a term called real ear measurement when I was talking about programming the Signia IX hearing aid. Real ear measurement is the only way to ensure that your hearing aids are programmed properly to your hearing loss prescription. However, it is only one of many best practices that should be performed by your hearing care professional if you're looking for maximum benefit. If you would like a full checklist of all of these different best practices, I will have them linked in the description of this video as well, and you can even go to my website hearingup.com and download them from there. All right, it is time for the fifth and final hearing aid to make this year's list of best receiver-in-canal hearing aids of 2026, and you might be surprised by this one, but it's the Widex Moment SmartRIC. The Moment SmartRIC is not Widex's newest hearing aid, but in my opinion, it is still their best, but not for the reasons that you may think. The Widex Allure is actually Widex's newest hearing aid, and it is a fantastic hearing aid, but it lacks a lot of the key features that I'm looking for inside of a Widex device that you can find inside of the Widex Moment SmartRIC. I do expect Widex to keep adding new features to the Allure line of hearing aids over the course of 2026, so maybe you'll see the Allure on next year's list of best hearing aids in 2027. But for now, we're talking about the Widex Moment SmartRIC. Despite having previous generation technology, the SmartRIC still has a ton of features that I love from Widex. Starting with pure sound, zero delay sound processing that can process sound in as little as 0.5 milliseconds compared to other hearing aid manufacturers where it takes anywhere between 3 and 8 milliseconds. They get it this fast by reducing the amount of signal processing that they have to do with the incoming signal. This has a positive side effect of keeping that sound sounding more natural. Yes, sounding more natural. This also reduces the comb filter effect when amplified sound combines with natural sound entering the ear canal, and if that delay is too long, it can add artifact into the signal. The high input dynamic range of the SmartRIC also makes this hearing aid one of the best hearing aids for musicians and audiophiles who want live music to sound as natural as possible. The physical design of the Moment SmartRIC is also really unique. It has more of a horizontal microphone placement, ranging anywhere between 12 and 20 degrees between the front and rear microphones, as opposed to 37 degrees on older models of hearing aids. Of course, this does make the hearing aid look a little bit weird, but it does improve the directivity index by 1.25 decibels, which is roughly a 12.5% improvement in speech understanding and noise. The design of this hearing aid also reduces wind noise by around 20% and reduces handling noise by around 88%. The SmartRIC is also rechargeable. It does use galvanic charging just like the Signia Pure Charge & Go IX hearing aids do, which means that you can get up to 37 hours of battery life without streaming and 27 hours of battery life with streaming. The Widex Moment SmartRIC probably has the best tinnitus masking features of any hearing aid available on the market, thanks to the Zen fractal tones. While I'm not a fan of trying to use maskers as a tinnitus treatment, I am a fan of incorporating tinnitus masking into a comprehensive tinnitus treatment protocol. And there are a ton of different sounds that you can play from the Widex Moment SmartRIC hearing aid, so you can find the ones that work best for you. They also have the Widex Moment app that has an amazing personalization tool called SoundSense Learn that uses machine learning to identify your preferences based on A/B comparisons that you make inside of the app while you're actually in a listening situation. While the Widex Moment SmartRIC hearing aids are nothing to write home about when it comes to wireless connectivity, they are definitely a fantastic hearing aid for a select group of individuals, which is exactly why I had to include them on this year's list. And there you go. Those are what I believe to be the best receiver-in-canal hearing aids that you can get here in 2026 based on my personal experience and reviews of these devices and using these hearing aids to treat my patients inside of my clinic. Let's go ahead and do a quick recap. First, we had the Phonak Audeo UltraSphere Infinio hearing aid with its insane deep neural network sound processing for background noise and improved battery life. Second, we had the Starkey Omega Ai hearing aid with its equally insane deep neural network sound processing and deep neural network microphone directionality features, along with Auracast capabilities. Third, we had the Oticon Intent hearing aid that is on Oticon's second generation deep neural network with Auracast capabilities and an uncanny ability to match prescriptive targets for individuals models with high-frequency hearing losses. Fourth, we had the Signia Pure C&G IX and BCT IX, depending on which flavor of Bluetooth you prefer. And fifth, we had the Widex Moment SmartRIC, maintaining its lead over the newer Widex Allure hearing aid due to its super fast sound processing speeds, live music quality, and tinnitus features not yet available inside of the Allures. Remember, I have detailed reviews of all of these different hearing aids on my YouTube channel, so make sure that you check them out. Don't forget to check out Lace AI Pro that I will have linked in the description with a discount code. And no matter what, make sure that you do whatever is necessary to get these hearing aids from a hearing care professional who follows comprehensive best practices like you can find on my HearingUp.com website if you want to hear your absolute best.